A non-bailable warrant was issued against him in 2010 by the Karnataka Sessions Court. According to a complaint lodged by his...
Many people asked me, Swamiji, why did you leave such a huge empire you built in India?
Miss Louisa Paul asks, can you please tell me a little bit more about Kailasa? When was it founded?
On Tuesday, 25th March, the Bolivian Ministry of Immigration announced that it has taken action to deport a total of 20 individuals belonging to Kailasa, a so-called imaginary nation established by Nithyananda, a fugitive man accused of serious offences, including sexual abuse. The Kailasa members were reportedly said to have allegedly attempted to illegally occupy land that legally belongs to the indigenous people of Bolivia. Addressing a press conference, Bolivia's immigration director, Catherine Calderon, disclosed details of the case, saying that this sect came to Bolivia as tourists, arriving at different times through different entry points. She continued to say that some of these individuals had been in Bolivia since as early as November 2024, while the majority of them had arrived in the country in January 2025. Nithyananda, who had posed as a godman, had previously operated a series of ashrams in the region and is accused of several cases of sexual assault and abuse. In November 2019, Gujarat law enforcement authorities started investigating serious charges including the kidnapping of a child at his ashram when he suddenly went underground. Shortly after he disappeared, he issued a statement claiming that he had established the nation of Kailasa at an unknown place to the public. However, there are long-standing speculations suggesting that he is actually residing on an island off the coast of Ecuador. According to reports, the deportation action taken by the Bolivian authorities was based on an investigative report by the Bolivian newspaper El Deber dated 16 March, where it was disclosed that 3 indigenous communities of Bolivia had entered lease agreements with the nation of Kailasa for approximately 4.8 lakh hectares of public land. Eduardo del Castillo del Carpio, Minister of Government of Bolivia, stated that Nithyananda's imaginary nation had entered lease agreements with the indigenous communities of Boa, Cayuba, and Esiha for a staggering period of 1,000 years. He said that, according to the agreement, the United States of Kailasa will have all rights to resources in the land and is assured full autonomy with the territory. According to the agreement, the fictional United States of Kailasa had agreed to pay $108,000 every year, he added. A journalist, Silvana Vincenti of El Deba, found this activity and was threatened by local and international phone numbers. The Bolivian government and CIDOB, Confederation of Indigenous Peoples of Bolivia, stated that the contract is null and that the indigenous people do not have the right to do trade with a fictional nation. According to the current law, foreigners cannot buy land in the Amazon area, according to the Bolivian Agriculture and Land Development Minister Yamil Eluns, he added. This sect has arrived in our country and has attempted to violate the good faith of our indigenous people and also violate their rights. They attempted to cheat them to obtain the use and benefit of lands of the plurinational state of Bolivia, Catherine Calderon added. While 3 individuals were intercepted in the municipality of Exaltation, the rest of the 17 were located in Santa Cruz. The individuals did not respect the purpose of their entry into Bolivia and were residing in the country illegally. As a result, an order for their compulsory departure was issued, forcing them to leave Bolivia immediately. This was enforced over the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, she added. She also pointed out that the Bolivian government has no ties or relationship with this so-called Kailasa Nation. A non-bailable warrant was issued against him in 2010 by the Karnataka Sessions Court. According to a complaint lodged by his former driver Lenin, Nithyananda was arrested and later released on bail. But in 2020, The bail was revoked when Lenin submitted a petition that Nithyananda had escaped the country. There have been allegations of child abuse and torture at the Godman's Gujarat ashram too. If you would like to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and take a little time out to comment your thoughts and opinions below in the comment section. We thank you for taking the time out to listen, and we wish our best regards to everyone's peace and safety.
Many people asked me, Swamiji, why did you leave such a huge empire you built in India and sitting somewhere in one corner for so many years? Be very clear. It's already 3 years. I left India. More than 3 years. This 3 years is worth, because I have done the foundation, legal, protected, internationally protected place first. Not only I have the immunity of non-prosecutable and immunity and protection as the head of the state, sovereign land, which can't be violated, and the embassy status in multiple places, even sovereign land in more than one places. This 3 years is worth, because the first things are done first, right things are done first. We have a great future. We don't have to worry. Will there be any end like what happened, what has been done to Asaram Babu's organization? What has been done to Sant Rampal's ecosystem? What has been done to Ram Rahim's ecosystem? What has been done to this Palgar Sadhus, and what has been done to Kanchimat? You don't need to worry, because I have done the right things first. That's a spend little time, study how each Hindu ecosystem is persecuted in last 100 years. Listen, whether Kanchimat or Asaram Babu or Ram Rahim or Sant Rampal or Shivashankar Baba, all of them, all their organizations, with so much of hard work, they build the Hindu ecosystem like a beautiful honeycomb. But just some thief comes and robs the whole thing and takes it away. But again, you guys Hindus will work hard and build it like a honeycomb. Again, somebody else will come and steal. Be very clear, I am not interested in this game. That is why I decided very clearly, I will build the fort first. Proper stone fort. Then build the honeycomb, so it will stay forever and work forever. Support the Hindus forever. Keep the Hindu ecosystem forever alive. Be very clear. I understood this secret. I started my public life at the age of 16. Within 10 years, by 25, I understood. Without making a proper protection system, any hard work me and my sannyasis put and build, it will be like a honeycomb. When Kanchi Shankaracharya got arrested, clearly I realized the Samasthana, which had immunity from all prosecution, lasted just 2 generations before, till the India adopted the secular constitution. Kanchimat, Madurayadinam, all of them had immunity from all prosecution in right writing legally valid from the British government till the British time. Just 2 generations now, those gurus are getting prosecuted. Lawfare is being done. False accusations are put. They are prosecuted left, right, center. Of course, Kanchi Shankaracharya proved he is innocent and came out. But what happened to that organization? What happened to that mutt? What happened to himself? Was he able to stand back? The criminally negligent Hindus did not have gratitude for all the work he has done. The criminally negligent Hindus are not realizing the anti-Hindus are attacking the real Hindus because he stood for the Hindus and sticked his neck out, his head was cut. That's all. So that is like a message. No one else should stick their neck out for Hinduism. I tell you, I realized this truth. If I don't build the proper legitimate fort, legal protection, even if I work for 100 years and build the Hindu ecosystem, I don't want to say what would have happened. I know very clearly. I know very clearly. I know very clearly. I wanted to tell all my disciples, listen. The good news I have for all of you is, by the grace of Paramashivam, we already have a sovereign territory in more than one place for Kailasa and diplomatic relationship with many countries for Kailasa, and I am safe. We are going to be safe forever. That is the good news I have for all my disciples. So all your effort, you are all putting time, treasure, talent and building this Kailasa will be useful forever. It cannot be hijacked, destroyed by anyone, because I made a proper foundation protection fortress, then started building the honeycomb. I did the first things first. Be very clear. Be very clear. First things first.
This is in response to the questions of Ms. Maria Luisa Paul, morning mix staff writer of the Washington Post. Ms. Luisa Paul asks, can you please tell me a little bit more about Kailasa? When was it founded? Where is it located? What is its population? Is it 100% Hindu? What are its cultural practices? Does it have an official language or anthem?
Ms. Paul, we are a revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation and operate through a group of NGOs recognized by the United Nations, operating from multiple countries across the world. It was established much in the spirit of a country, like the Sovereign Order of Malta, a borderless service-oriented nation. Please visit our website at kailasa.org for further information.
The next question, Ms. Paul asks, how does the nation operate? Does it provide passports, birth certificates, official documentation? Can people visit Kailasa? What institutions are in place? Does it hold elections? What is its political system? Does it have embassies, ambassadors across the world? And if so, where?
Like the Sovereign Order of Malta, Kailasa operates through multiple entities and NGOs, temples and monasteries in multiple countries.
The next question, Ms. Paul asks, in the same vein, if it is in fact a sovereign nation, why has the UN, the City of Newark, and other media outlets decried Kailasa as fake and said they don't recognize it? Is there any documentation proving that Kailasa is a country? Do any other nations recognize it as such?
Ms. Paul, these questions have already been answered.
Ms. Louisa Paul asks, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, has been accused of rape and scamming. Would you like to respond to these allegations?
All such allegations are absolutely false. Many prominent human rights advocates have given independent reports and legal opinions attesting this. Among them is world-renowned Queen's Counsel from UK, Mr. Jeffrey Robertson, who says in this report about the persecution, quote, it arises more generally from the demonization of the leader and guru by the media and state government officials as a result of false sexual abuse charges first leveled against him in 2010 and pursued in a manner that amounts to an abuse of process, unquote. He further adds that, quote, the state of the prosecution evidence in both cases is weak and is reasonably likely that he will eventually be acquitted. It is particularly concerning that the central government is urging states to encourage police action against him, which is marks of persecution and reprisal for his complaints to the UN, unquote. Finally, quote, for the reasons explained above, I consider that the leader of the ASNT and his followers have suffered and most likely are still suffering persecution on the grounds of religious belief, contrary to Article 18 of the ICCPR, unquote. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was proven innocent by the California, USA Court on April 4, 2013. The court ruled in favor of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and fined the false victim nearly $500,000 in fines. This is also recognized by Mr. Robertson, QC, stating, quote, both A and B's claims against PN were dismissed in US cases with costs and in A's case with damages. Further evidence emerged in the US proceedings to show that the allegations were false, unquote.
Ms. Louisa Paul asks, since then, Newark's government has walked back the agreement. How is Kailasa responding to this? Will it still honor the agreement between the two?
We remain committed to our purpose and we remain committed to our purpose towards global peace.
Next question, Ms. Paul asks, what is something you'd like people to know about Kailasa?
Ms. Paul, we are a revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation operating through a group of NGOs in multiple countries across the world. It was established much in the spirit of a country like the Sovereign Order of Malta, a borderless, service-oriented nation. Its vision is living enlightenment for all, leading to global peace irrespective of any external differences including gender, race, nationality, color, caste, creed, etc. It is established on the principle of oneness or Advaita in Sanskrit. You should know about the reviver of Kailasa, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, who has been formally initiated at the age of 3, trained, anointed by competent traditional Hindu authorities who have come in established lineages. He was recognized at a young age as an incarnation as per Hinduism, much like how the Dalai Lama was traditionally recognized as an incarnation as per Tibetan Buddhism. His teachings are based on core ancient Hindu scriptures. Please visit the YouTube link that is posted on the link. And we hope that our previous responses have clarified your questions. Please do let us know if you have any further inquiries, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.